What's up, guys? All right, let's go over some more shit. Let's look at this chart on NAS one day. Okay, so we had this daily level here, right? Which I believe I was saying back when everybody was trying to short here or somewhere in here that I was like, no, dude, this is gonna go higher. And it obviously did. But here was a good possibility of some shorts coming in. I still think we're going to go higher. I still think we're going to complete this weekly QM here in this zone-ish area. Okay. So we're going to go over what happens when you have multiple zones in the same area and what to do. Okay. But remember, weekly, right? This was your weekly high, but we have this huge wick and we understand what's inside the wick. We go down to the daily one day. Okay. What's that highest point on the daily? Right here. But do we still have a wick? Yeah, we do. Right here. Okay. What happens after that? We go to 4 hours. We don't enter off the daily. We look at the 4 hour. Where's our 4 hour high? Where's your first shorting opportunity is you can enter off this 4 hour immediately with literally no risk, right? Because if this obviously breaks, then it's not a good trade. And you should just close out. And you can see how we traveled right to it. Boom, right? But let's say you wanted to be a little safer on that, okay? What's the first thing we need to do is identify where that 4 hour low is, okay? So we have a 4 hour low here, and we have a 4 hour curve here. Okay, so from here, let's drop to the 1 hour because we're targeting 4 hour. Here's our 1 hour rejection, right? Pull back, break right here. Where's our QM here? Okay, and where's your target here? Okay, so you're entering here for 106 points with a 14-point risk on the head that QM. And maybe you caught this 4 hour, that's your first entry, right? First entry, riskiest entry, but you really don't have that much downside on this, right? Because your stop loss is right here. So, you know, that's where your first entry will come in. Then we wait for that market structure break. Boom, break. You may have taken a loss on this one right here, which I don't think you would have because your stop loss probably would have been above this high. But even then, you have that reentry here, right? And why here though? Like, why not this break if you took that? Because look at your 4 hour, right? Your 4 hour, we have also a break right here. Boom. So yeah, right here we have 4 hour break. So the next entry here, on this level here, this curve, we have a break here and then a push through that. So there's like a mini QM here. So you may have taken a small loss on this, or you could have pulled it. I thought there was something here on the 4 hour. There's actually nothing here on the 4 hour. Anyways, so we break, come back, come to the QM, push, come back, push, right? So you should be safe. Like, why wouldn't you have closed out here? Like, if something came pushed, we have resistance here, right? So in this wick, it pushed up here. What do we have inside that? Okay, so we had price moving up, tapping into our hourly QM and then moving aggressively down. Let's look at 15-minute. Okay, and then on the M15, what do we have? We have another QM here. As price pushes, breaks the structure, comes back up, QM level, and then pushes down. Okay. And on point with our curve. So pretty simple, pretty easy trade. But I still believe this is most likely going to go higher. But we'll see. I mean, right now we have a 4-hour break, so that's going to head to a daily level. So knowing that we're heading to a daily level, we can possibly see a pullback, possibly to here. This is already tested, so possibly to this next level here on the daily. Okay, but we have to be keeping in mind what's happening on the 4-hour. As we just broke the 4-hour structure, pulling back into the 4-hour structure, our next zone for 4-hour is here. And then below that, we have this zone. And then below that, we have this zone, and then this zone, and this zone. Okay, so we just got to pay attention to what happens at that point in time. Oops. Now let's look at that area for that weekly. Okay, so here on this weekly area, what do we have? We have this level, this level, this level, right? We have multiple levels on here, and on a daily time frame, it's going to look, these are going to be possibly pretty wide. So if we go on a 1 day, okay. So as price, we're always working from the first level up. Okay, so what are we waiting for? We're looking at this price range right here. This price right here first. Okay, so what do we do on this price? We look at our H4. Is our H4 rejecting? No, right? Like, well, I'm not saying no, but if it wasn't, then we're waiting for this level. If that's not working, then this level. Okay, we need to see that break down. Okay, so you're just taking it level by level. It doesn't, you're not going to know which level. You just have to wait for price to give you its hand and show you, hey, we're most likely going to be going down. And why, like, you know, most people, let's look at this real quick. Okay, we have a zone that we're looking for that price action to happen. Okay, let's say this is a daily zone, but let's say you see something like this, okay, where you have a 4-hour break, right? Like, let's say this green line is a H4 and this is a daily level here. This is daily and this is H4. Right, and let's say price, I did something like that, okay. This is a terrible drawing, but I hope you get the gist. Okay, so look, you have a 4-hour break here, right? So you're most likely thinking like, maybe I should buy here, but then there's this daily sell zone. Which one's more powerful? We obviously know the higher time frame is more powerful, right? So this daily zone is more powerful. Would it make sense to zoom in on this level on H1, waiting for that break in order to hold the trade all the way down? No. Okay, we need to wait for H4 minimum to break, right? Because we have this H4 boss. Price can easily come back and just fly through the zone to go to the next daily level or the next weekly level, daily roadblock, weekly level. Okay, so we need to wait, and this is the thing is okay. So, for example, most traders are looking at this level, right? And they're trying to catch an M1, M15, H1 entry. okay? And what happens most of the time is they're going to get stopped out, right? Because they think they're going to miss, they're thinking they're going to miss this move, right? It's a FOMO trade. Okay. It's not like where you're going to feel secure about the trade because you don't have your structural point like this, right? Like if we're trading, okay, so this is H4, right? H4. If we're trading and you see on M15, let's do, like, let's say this area, right? In this push up from this daily, you see QM, okay? Change the color to yellow. Okay, so on M15 in the zone, you see a QM. Okay. And where can we take that? We can only take that to an hourly level, right? And where's those hourly levels? They're probably going to be somewhere in this leg here, right? And some traders are like, oh, you know what? I need to hold this and see what happens. And then most likely that M15 is just the pullback for H4 to come down to here, then to just break it, right? But most people, what they're going to do is they're going to see that like this, right? And hope to God that this QM is going to hold the sell. This M15 is going to hold the sell to break all this. And that's not the case, okay? What's going to confirm the break is if we have that same like M15 QM, but we understand that H4 broke this, okay? Right, so we have a QM here. So instead, instead of taking a loss trying to catch the top, right, which you also have to realize you're trying to catch the top to save yourself like a few pips, right? You're trying to catch the top to be like, you know what, I don't want to take, I want to sniper it, and I want every pip the market has to offer. But instead, the smart traders who are actually profitable are taking these levels instead, waiting for the confirmation of H4, because what happens when H4 breaks, it wants to go to the next daily level down here, okay? And like that, okay? So like this, okay? So instead of like trying to catch this, which you don't know, you have no idea if price is going to run out and go higher because of the M15, boss or whatever. You just know that it can go to an H1 level. That's it. That's all you understand is it can go to an H1 level. If H1 breaks, then it can go to H4 level. If H4 breaks, then it can go to the daily level. But from here, right, if you're trying to take this trade, it's high risk because you have no confirmation, right? It's a daily zone that you need to have it break with an H4 zone. You can't expect this. Like, yes, it can happen. Like, you can take an entry from M15 here and have it break the H4, or you have to wait for that H4 confirmation. This H4 is telling you, look, we want to go lower. Okay, so instead of trying to save yourself a few pips by trying to catch the top and having it risk your account, you wait for the confirmation and then you get in. Okay, so you can get in here. And if you're very concerned about small stop loss, you go down to M15 at this zone here. Okay, so when you have this, when you understand that, okay, we have a daily level, right? A daily sell level, right? This is only a sell level. And then we have our H4 going down, okay? And then now we have our M15 going down. Like inside this, we'll have an M15, right? Now everything is stacked up. We have H4 saying it wants to go bearish. We have M15 in this level saying we want to go bearish. We have daily saying we want to go bearish. And now you're stacked everything in your favor. And your target, you have that H4 break from M15 to come down to a daily level. So that's how you're going to protect yourself. Instead of trying to just catch this top, you're waiting for the confirmation. You're waiting. You're being patient. Okay, because like, for example, let's look at, where was the example that I saw? Okay, let's look at this right here, this level. Okay, so at this point, when we're here, people were looking for sells, right? This was a daily zone. We were looking for sells. Or sorry, not this point. Where is it? I think it was this point here. Yeah, I think it was this point. Okay, yeah, this point. So let's look here. Now, granted, you got a little bit of a sell, right? So first price came up, closed past it, and then it broke down on your H4, right? Moving back up, you could have caught this entry, and then it came back down. But why didn't this trade last? Because we're headed to a daily level. Okay, here's your daily level. So H4 only broke to get to the next daily level. Okay, and this is where your buy is. This is why we can come up. Okay, so like if you were trying to hold this trade all the way down, it just didn't make any sense. We have to understand that H4 broke to get to a daily level. Once we get to that daily level and then we break to the upside, where's our next target? Our weekly level. So we had that whole huge weekly wick. And then now we're aiming for that weekly QM level all in here. And then, and then we can refine that down to like a daily. So off the daily, we understand this is the weekly levels. We can mark this zone as well. And we have this zone and that zone. So we just got to pay attention to what happens at these levels. Wait for our 4 hour, wait for our fucking return on H1 M15 at the 4 hour level. That way we have ultimate confirmation that all the time frames are stacked in our favor. All right.